are pretty much they're all done that. You have to pick one of the character that your voice what you want to be your favorite one.
Easy answer for me. Favorite character that I was ever cast as. I was so excited because it was my favorite X-Men in the comic books as a kid was Wolverine. I got to play in about 5 movies, and I was just over the moon when I found out I was got cast in that role. Some of the other roles we get become favorites as the show comes out and we interact with fans more, like voicing Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z or Luke in Death Note. Because when we first got those roles, I didn't know who this same prince was. Nobody knew in North America, and very few of us knew anything about Death Note, so I don't know how I could pick those as favorite characters, but I did know who Wolverine was, and I was very excited to get that one.
My very first cartoon series was a show called My Little Ponytails. So Ace is one of my favorite characters, but like Brian said, you know, like Light from Death Note or Gohan from Dragon Ball Z, they've become some of my favorites because I get to talk about them quite a bit. But when you audition for a show that you're already a fan of, like an X-Men or something, so Nightcrawler and X-Men Evolution was one of my favorites, and I also got to play Baby Groot in Marvel Battle Worlds, which for me as a big Guardians nerd was heaven. So that's always very exciting.
Favorite? Well, as I yell into a microphone. Favorite? Well, I loved a series, a book series called, oh my God, or the book series Madeline, about a little girl in France. And my first feature I ever did when I was like 13 or 14 was My Fair Madeline. And so I played a character named Chloe in that, but I would say my favorite characters were playing the Biscuit Twins in The Littlest Pet Shop. I just feel like they were everything I wanted to be and more. They're the villains, so.
I mean, other than Elle, yeah, I've been really blessed to be part of some franchises like X-Men, Evolution. But I remember the first time that I voiced a character and then it became a toy was a really cool moment that I could go out to Toys R Us and buy the toy and have my voice on it. And that's happened a couple of times. There was a series of VHS tapes and DVDs that came out around the Barbie franchise. Barbie and the Princess and the Pauper, and I was Ken-Uff for a while. And I remember they delivered my Ken doll to me in the mail, and that was a hilarious, cool moment. And then I was also the voice of a Transformer, so I would like do a battle show with Ken. Night Screen with like, you know.
They sent you your Ken doll?
They did!
I had to go to Toys R Us and find my own.
Yeah, well, were you just a stable boy or something?
No, well, that was a different film. Okay. I played the Ken character in Barbie Video Game Hero. Now, his name wasn't Ken, but it was Chris with a K, so he was the Ken character.
Yes.
Oh.
No, they sent it to me. Sorry.
Go find my own.
Better Ken. Thank you.
So as we know, Kira had like 3 assistants, Mikumi, Takeda, and Lisa. So I was wondering, of those 3, which one was your favorite? Any of you guys?
I can tell you my least favorite. Mikumi kind of screwed everything up. Definitely Lisa. I feel so bad for some of the mistreatment. If I said somebody else, I'd hear about it, but definitely Lisa, my favorite.
Before I ask the question, I just have to say, that's the best film.
Thank you for the milk delivery. This was given. The word got around that I'm a big chocolate milk snob, and I have a delicious product right in front of me. So thank you for that. I'm looking for sponsorship.
My question is, I know y'all had said that y'all are together when y'all went on this, so I kind of left curious, what was that recording session like? Like, how many people are in the studio? Is it just you and like 2 or 3 other people? Is there like 20, 30 people there? Are they like directing, like what does the direction look like? How much dialogue do y'all record at this time? And like, the flaps, like the mouth flaps, on this show, do they have the ability to adjust that, or do y'all have to go with the footage?
You gotta go with the footage that's there for this one. And usually, for two guys, it's usually only two other people. There's an engineer running the board as you record and setting up the scene for you to record to, and the director, Carl Williams, who's the director for all the episodes. So, and then one person in the studio. So that's it, just the three of us every time. We might cross paths when, Brad's on his way out of the studio and then I'm heading in for a couple hours in my session. High five, light, and then in I go. But we were never together for the moment of the show. It might have been, I don't know, was there any wall sessions on this? But sometimes on a dubbing series, like if there's a crowd scene, sometimes they'll get a few actors in the room to do what's called walla. So like if it's screaming and trains crashing or something, and they need a whole bunch of voices around the mics, you might get a bunch of people in there at the same time. But with us, it was just would have been one actor, two people on the other side of the glass, and you just go line by line. And the longest a session would be 4 hours. That's a lot of dialogue, so you have to write someone like Brad, or maybe for certain sections, up to a certain episode, L. Or Risa actually had a lot of dialogue. Rita actually does not have a mountain of dialogue in the series. So I think sometimes I would go in and maybe record 5, 6 episodes at a time and only be in there for a couple hours. And then come back a week or two later, do another 5 or 6 episodes in a couple hours. There's another question. Hello, hello.
Yo am here for my son. I'm trying to your English. For you, in your opinion, what do you project for the young people to their emotional growth?
I speak Spanish.
She said, for you, in your opinion, what do your projects for young people contribute to their emotional growth?
How do our projects contribute to a young person's emotional growth?
Great question.
That is a good question. Some of our projects don't contribute anything to emotional growth. They are completely designed to sell more plastic toys to children.
That's what sets Death Note apart a little bit, for sure.
Yeah.
Death Note is such it's an outlier in anime and in cartoons, I think, in animation, that it is different from a lot of other shows. It has a moral compass, right? And it asks you as a viewer to decide where you sit on that spectrum. And you may start watching the show and sympathize with light, and then you may switch after a few episodes, or you may watch it a second time and then have a different perspective on it. So I think one of the things it does, like a lot of good storytelling, is it challenges your preconceptions about certain issues or life or morality. And so I think that can totally add to a young person's growth, because they may ask questions they haven't asked of themselves.
We are also really fortunate, being that most of us are in Vancouver, Canada, we get to work on a lot of different projects. So for myself, most of the cartoons that I've been working on the last several years are kids' cartoons now. So there's a series called Gigantosaurus, which I think is on Disney Plus, which is talking dinosaurs. And those episodes follow 4 young dinosaurs and their journey through the forest and interaction with each other. So there's a lot of more lessons in a show like that. There's another series that's just come out, but it's actually out now. I think it's on Apple Plus, called Not a Box, which is another kid's story, and I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but having worked on that, it's a story that kind of follows a very young girl through her imagination in these, wondrous lands and things, all the friends that she's encountered along the way. And myself, having two very young kids, I'm looking forward to, my kids getting to the age where they can watch some of these other cartoons that I work on and hopefully become fans of them, and then eventually ramp up to Death Note. So we'll see. Death Note's probably not for a 2-year-old. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very important for the people. Thank you very much for doing the
Thank you. Sure, man.
You wanted a little Vegeta? Well, she's going to plug her ears because she's sitting right beside me. Only if you do Nappa, then maybe I'll do it. What does Nappa say? This is going to be an acting class, right?
Vegeta, what's his power level?
Well, it's close. Hey, Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
Yeah! Woo!
Thank you.
So much. What a way to end the panel. Everyone, please give it one more time for Alessandro, Brad, and
Yeah! Woo!
Don't sit on this table if you didn't get a chance to ask a question or something. We're still there for a few more hours today.
At the Death Note panel.